What's going on? It is Patrick Wilson. Today we are talking about alcohol and how alcohol impacts your fitness goals, whether it be for fat loss, building muscle, all that action. First of all, I will not be drinking either of these during this video, but I figured I'd have alcohol sitting here while I'm talking about alcohol. Your boy went out yesterday. No chance I'm about to be sipping even one drink right now. Can't happen. But today, I'm gonna talk about what you need to know when it comes to having alcohol. Can you have alcohol and lose weight, lose fat, what that looks like, how it impacts your goals, what to look out for, what to avoid. So with that being said, let's get it popping. All right, so first things first, as I talk about pretty much every video as it relates to losing fat or losing weight, the number one step is to be in a calorie deficit. This goes for any person, any situation. To lose weight, lose fat, gotta be in a calorie deficit, gotta be taking in less calories through drinks, through food than you are burning throughout the day. I have a whole video about that. Alcohol falls into the same category. You can have White Claws, you can have champagne, you can have literally anything, and as long as your total calories you're taking in are less than your maintenance amount needed, then you're going to lose weight. However, there's a lot more to it than just that. And that's what we need to dive into today. Yes, first of all, it's possible you can lose weight and have alcohol, but we need to talk about actually how alcohol impacts you in other ways other than just the calories from it, because alcohol is a complex thing. And there's other factors, practical advice that I would like to go over that I think will be extremely helpful for you. So that's what we're gonna do. So first, something super interesting about alcohol is that our body burns the calories from alcohol first. So when you take an alcohol, our body treats it as poison pretty much, and is trying to get it out of our system ASAP. So therefore, instead of burning calories from all other foods too, like most people will go have drinks and then also have food there, our body's burning the calories from the alcohol first of all, and the calories from the food is kind of getting put on the back burner. So therefore, oftentimes it's easier for excess carbs or fats to be stored as body fat when you are drinking, just again, because your body is burning calories and alcohol first. So that's one thing you gotta be aware of and know. So if you still wanna be in a calorie deficit and lose weight, lose fat when you're having alcohol, one, you still need to be aware of calories, but you also want to cut back on the carbs and fats that you're taking in for the day, because alcohol still has calories. It's 7 calories per gram of alcohol. Each drink like this is about 100 calories. Champagne, this is about 100-ish calories. So if you're having 200, 300, 600 calories from alcohol in a day, you have to cut back on calories from something else in your day that you normally would have. And so the areas that I would cut back on are foods that are higher in carbs and fats, because one, those are just gonna get stored as fat easier anyway if you do happen to go into a little bit of a surplus, and just in general, when you're drinking alcohol, that is. You want to keep protein higher though, because this is going to allow you to still maintain muscle and still allow your body to maintain the toned, lean look that you want or aspire to get to. Another thing with alcohol is that it really provides no nutritional value at all. Like carbs, fats, proteins, they all offer your body something. Alcohol offers your body nothing. From a practical standpoint, it offers you a lot of fun though, so I guess that's something, and I'm all for fun, you know. But you know the term empty calories? Alcohol is to the fullest empty calories. Also, alcohol is not very satiating at all, meaning that it's not very filling whatsoever. So most foods, most calories you take in are gonna fill you up in some capacity, even if it's foods that aren't super filling, like candy or sweets or something, it's still gonna fill you up at least a little bit. Alcohol is like one of the most unsatiating things around, and sometimes can even make you more hungry, which I've definitely experienced when I've been drinking for sure. And that's gonna lead us to the next point. When you drink, oftentimes your inhibitions go down a little bit, you're having fun, enjoying yourself, you're doing things or thinking about things that you might not normally do or think about. And that might include having foods that you might not normally have if you're on this fat loss journey that you want to be on. You know, foods like an entire pizza, an entire cookie brownie, a bunch of ice cream, a bunch of burritos, tacos, burgers, quesadillas, like literally anything. I just named a bunch of drunk food that I've had. But between not being super full from the alcohol calories, inhibitions being down, so you're like, drunk food sounds good, and then those extra calories that you're taking in from the now higher fat, higher carbs foods that most drunk foods are, All that combined, if you overdo with alcohol and get to a point where you are eating a ton of food while you're drinking or after you get done drinking, aka the drug food, it's gonna be more easily stored as body fat when you are in a calorie surplus, and you're most likely, it's gonna be easier to go into a calorie surplus with all those factors. So those are some of the main things to keep in mind when it comes to drinking. You can absolutely do it, and having drinks in moderation is fine. Even if you're having a night where you get lit, that's perfectly fine, but it's just something to be aware of, that the food you take in and your actions when you are drunk and the amount that you drink in that situation, it can add up, and that's kind of how it impacts your body. The type of alcohol you have too is also going to play a factor, because some drinks are lower calorie, like White Claws or champagne. These are going to be about, like I said, 100 calories per drink, whereas some other drinks like heavy beers or mixed drink that's mixed with full soda, those are going to be upwards like 200 calories. If you have a margarita, that can be, depending on the sugars and everything stuff that's added to it, it can be 300 plus calories. So it depends on the drinks that you're going to have. If you want the most bang for your calories, you want the most alcohol for your calories, or just lower calorie drinks, I guess, you should do some mixed drinks with low calorie or 0 calorie mixers. Like my go-tos are rum and diet. I love those. You can do vodka with like some sparkling water. That's solid. Again, like seltzers, light beers, champagne, wine is pretty solid too. So those are some of the main drinks that I would stick with or go with if you want to keep calories a little bit lower, but still enjoy yourself a little bit. All right, and the next thing, kind of going back to the sciencey aspect of all of this, is how alcohol impacts you building muscle or retaining muscle. So alcohol slows down protein synthesis, basically meaning that it's harder to build and rebuild muscle after a workout and to maintain muscle, you know, as you're having those days where you're drinking. Now, if you're keeping protein higher, this can help mitigate this. That's why I said if you're going to be drinking, you want to take out calories that you would normally have from higher carb or fat foods and keep protein as high as possible. That's why that's extremely important. And again, protein is necessary as well to help you lose actual body fat and not just weight on the scale, so that as you are losing mass from your body, it is entirely fat and you're not losing muscle too, because that's going to slow down metabolism. You're not going to look as good as you want. Your overall body composition is not going to be looking as great. So alcohol, non-alcohol, whether you're drinking or not, make sure you're getting plenty of protein still. That's important. And then lastly, one of the biggest things to be mindful of if you're drinking is how you're feeling the next day and what the next day looks like. Alcohol dehydrates you a lot, so you're probably not going to be feeling very good the next day. If you plan on getting a workout in the next day, your performance is likely going to suffer, because if you have a hangover, if you're dehydrated, energy levels are going to be lower, sleep could be impacted. It just won't be the best workout you're going to have. You're not going to be as strong as you would like. No bueno. With that said, I would probably plan to take a rest day the day after drinking, just so that you can have some time to recover, get fluids in your system, and then get back to it the day after that, or a couple days after you had the night of drinking. So with all that being said, yes, it is possible to lose weight while drinking alcohol. Yes, it is possible to lose fat while drinking alcohol, possible to build muscle while drinking alcohol, but you have to compensate and take out some of the foods you would normally have if you want to continue being in a calorie deficit while you are drinking. So cutting back on some of the higher carb, higher fat foods to fit in your drink of choice. Drinks of choice. Obviously, a few drinks here and there in moderation is completely fine. Even having sometimes, again, where you get lit is perfectly fine. If you're drinking into an excess where you're going to be in a calorie surplus, you're just not going to make progress, because again, you're in a calorie surplus, not going to make progress with losing fat, that is. And even if your goal is to build more muscle, if you're drinking super regularly and a lot of drinks on a regular basis, it makes it hard to build muscle, because you're probably not getting enough protein. And even if you are, your body's not going to process it as well. It's not going to help repair and build muscle as much as well. So drink in moderation, be mindful of calories still. Even if you're not actively tracking them, still know that the calories from alcohol can add up, and your actions when you actually do get lit do play a big impact and role on your progress with your fitness goals. Last two things: drink responsibly, and also if you are not 21 or 18, whatever country you're in, stick to the rules, homies. Don't be drinking underage out here. Much love, peace and blessings. Please like the video, subscribe to my channel. We'll see you next time. Maybe we'll share a few drinks at some point in life. Peace.